Welcome, everyone. Welcome back.
When are we actually ever going to take ourselves seriously when it comes to live streaming?
We are not, or I wouldn't do it if it wasn't fun. So I do want to keep things pretty short and sweet today. I feel like this is just like a very targeted topic that we're going to talk about. And
Yeah.
once you get it, it's going to change everything in your business, or it's going to give you the confidence to finally start the business that you've been wanting to. Because what we're talking about today is why, like, no one's paying you so that they feel better. But we want to talk about what people will actually pay for in the coaching industry, because I don't want any more of these women saying like, well, I tried to start a coaching business and it failed, or I quit after a few months, or everybody says that, the coaching industry is saturated, or it's hard to sell coaching. No. It's hard to sell something that no one wants to buy.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So if you're marketing something or you're trying to sell something that no one wants to pay for, it's going to be extremely hard to grow a coaching business.
Yep.
So I brought V here. If we haven't met before, I'm Liv. I'm the CEO of IGC Coaching School. We have trained and certified thousands of coaches in a variety of different niches for the last decade. VP Wright is a graduate of IGC. She's multi-six-figure earner in the coaching industry, and she supports all of our students as a branding and marketing coach and teaches a bunch of lessons and hosts open coaching calls, because at IGC, the main differentiator from our school is we not only offer high-end exclusive ICF fully accredited coach training, but we're the only school in the world that offers just as intense, if not more intense, business building through all of our classes, through our community. And plays a crucial role in that. She is a much better marketer, content creator, branding person than I am. And so she has been leading these with me and supporting our YouTube channel, because you really need both. You need coaching excellence and you need business excellence to thrive in this coaching industry in 2025.
Absolutely.
Did I get it all?
I mean, that was it. that was it. I can't. I have nothing else to add outside of the fact that when it comes to actually being able to show up online, and I just had a call with one of our students earlier today about this. You have to be able to find where your people are and actually sell them something that they need, that they actually need.
Yeah. You have to sell them something that they actually need. And like, it's not hard. And most women come to coaching because they know they want to help people. They've had some great transformation themselves, or they've seen it's possible. So they start talking about that. There's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes that in that language is not what someone else wants to buy, especially in this economy. Like, people are not buying as many nice to haves or things that just make them feel better, unless that makes them look 20 pounds skinnier, 20 years younger, 100% hotter. They're not going to be, oh, I just want to feel better. No, people want tangible, solid results, especially when it comes to a service like coaching. So I think we should start off with this example of one coach that we know named Sarah. We were observing this conversation. So Sarah is a coach who helps high achieving women with ADHD. So her program is amazing. She's an amazing coach, like has such great testimonials, but her problem is like, once she kind of marketed to her people who already know, like, and trust her, she starts trying to move her message to a greater scale or getting more clients essentially. And it's just falling completely flat. And we're so entrenched sometimes in this like transformation that we've seen possible, that we forget that people outside of this little bubble of self-help or personal development or whatever space you've created don't freaking get it. They don't understand. And they're not going to stop the scroll to pay for something like feeling emotionally regulated, or rebuilding self-trust, or helping women step into their power. Like, what the heck does that even really mean, right?
Yeah.
So you have to sell them what they want and give them what they need. So what the whole issue with Sarah's thing is that it wasn't something that people were about to buy. They're not going to call you and then pay $3,500 to you on the phone to feel better about themselves from a phone call. I don't know how else to say it. Like, they're not no one, but most people aren't going to be doing that. And if most people won't do that, then you don't have a product that's scalable and you're going to go out of business.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to kind of put things into words that make sense to people who have these problems. So, like, if you are emotionally unregulated, if you aren't trusting yourself, if you haven't stepped into your power, what tangible problems is that causing in your life? So, I want you to think about that for yourself. If you're using a lot of language that's very abstract, how can you rephrase or recommunicate that message so that someone can understand it and be like, oh, I need to buy that thing. I need to buy that transformation. Anything else you want to say about like Sarah's particular situation before we like break it down into actions?
Well, I mean, and oftentimes we just see this in folks who are either first coming into coaching or even after they graduate and they're building their like first real offer. They try to tackle these very abstract topics or very abstract issues without even getting down to the simple thought of things, right? And so in Sarah's situation, just frankly, you can't, and I'm just about this from a marketer side point of view, right? No one's going to be typing in Google how to solve my ADHD so I can, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's typically trying to find an actual problem to what they're struggling with, which may be a symptom of ADHD, right? You have to be able to break it down to where whatever someone can do is searchable. And that was a huge issue just in Sarah's part. There wasn't actually enough of that going on in the initial breakdown.
Right. So for Sarah's message to be able to reach people that are going through a problem that they can self-identify or self-select into would be something like, I help women with ADHD finally follow through on their goals so they can get promoted, so they can launch a business, so they can stick to a routine that they've broken a million times so far. Right? Like actual tangible day-to-day problems that someone can easily realize, like, oh, if I fix this problem in my life, a million other things would benefit me or change for the better. So it's essentially like you have to communicate it in a way where someone understands that the problem that they're having is actually costing them more money than the cost of your package.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So we have to figure out a way to bring it down to earth. And I'm not talking about your followers who have been following you for years and they would hire you if you sold poop in a bag. Like, sorry, that was a gross thing. But like, people will love you. And I say this often, if you have a huge community that know, like, and trust you. I watch this influencer. I mean, she's farming, she's selling coffee, she's selling t-shirts, every single Amazon product she's ever ordered. And I'm like, she could literally sell crap and people would buy it. But if you don't have that type of celebrity factor, that's perfectly fine. You don't need that. You need a tangible problem that people are willing to pay for. And truthfully speaking, people are typically willing to pay for three things: money. Let me make that make sense. If you're going to help them make more money, grow a business, get promoted, climb the career ladder, get a better job, get into the best college, get into the best program, something like that that's going to help. They're buying money, they're buying health. If you're going to help them lose 100 pounds, if you're going to help them fit into a bikini, if you're going to help them get ready for their wedding, if you're going to help them get rid of a chronic illness, if you're going to help them clear their skin, if you're going to help them get pregnant, if you're anything health related, people are going to pay for it. And if you're going to help them with love, one of the top things is love. Find the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams, recover from divorce, I don't know, get over a breakup, whatever it may be. Even like parenting would fall kind of in that love category. If you're going to help their kids stop misbehaving or heal a relationship, right? Those are the kinds of things people are going to pay for. Airy fairy empowerment does not work anymore. And I will tell you, and I promise you, it did work like 10 years ago because there was less people, there was less use of the internet and going on social media to find everybody's a coach, right? So we need to find something that makes sense. I stupidly became very successful as a coach early on because I actually was so naive and so basic and so like, what is the word, and like brand new in the coaching industry, where I was like, what is a problem I can help people solve? everybody in Washington, D.C., which is where I lived, like hated their job. My first coaching package was called Quit Your Day Job, Find Your Dream Job. Like, it doesn't get any more basic than that. But this offer blew up because it was so obvious. And 1 out of every 2 people I talked to in DC, young adults, hated their
Hated
job.
their jobs. Mm-hmm.
And that's all I marketed. I was like, I would tell my friends, I'm like, if you meet someone that hates their job, like connect them to me. That's it. How many people in their mid-20s in DC hated their job? Most of the population. So like you have to, and I didn't know that I was like a marketing genius. I wasn't. I just like dumbly found it. Like I don't know. But that's what you have to figure out for yourself. How to, I hate to say it, but like dumb it down.
I mean, like in other ways that you can also say simplify your offer. How do you simplify your messaging? Well,
yeah. Well, and then in your package, that's where you can say like, and because they're going to get on a sales call or discovery call with you, and they're going to say, okay, like you said that I could, get promoted, but like right now, no one respects me at work. My boss treats me like crap. I'm, the youngest person on the team. So your pathway, your journey inside of that coaching relationship may be recovering from self-doubt, building self-leadership skills, learning how to be a direct communicator, blah, blah, blah. But no one's buying that. So that's why we say like, declare your niche and sell the people what they want. They don't want to actually go through all of this like journaling and, oh, we're going to go through all these workbooks. I mean, I'll do it to get to the end result. In IJC, we call this the Hawaii method. Like if I was a travel agent, I'm not selling you that you're going to have to wait in a busy airport and your luggage might get lost. And there's going to be a crying baby right behind you in your first class seats or whatever it may be. I'm saying you're going to be on the beach in Hawaii with the love of your life. And you're going to see these like beautiful what are they called? Waterfalls or whatever. So you're selling the end result and you're marketing the end result. Then you can go into these methods that you use inside of the coaching relationship. We're not going to be marketing all of that necessarily unless it's a means to an end.
Absolutely. So then, Liv, because you did bring up the Hawaii method, and there is honestly just a better way to communicate to people what they should be getting at the end of said offer. What are some call to actions that people can use, like in their messaging, to stand out?
Oh, I mean, call to action wise, I always just say it's like book a call, but you have to have a call that makes sense. So like if you are a career coach and you want to work with burnt out women who want to find a more aligned job, you're not going to be talking as much about like, do you feel like emotionally dysregulated at work? No, you're going to say like, are you coming home miserable every day and taking it out on your kids and husband or whoever, and like then saying like, I want to invite you to this 30-minute career up level session where you're going to walk away with at least 3 strategies to come home from work not hating your life. That I'm just talking off the cusp, but like,
oh, this is good. I hope people are taking notes.
Okay, good. Take notes and put in your own words. And we have something new launching. It's going to be called the First Offer Template. These should be out in the next couple of weeks. We're going to send an email. So if you're not on our email list, go to innerglowcircle.com/become a coach, and you can get a free workshop. Then you're going to be on our email list. So you're going to get this. But in this, it has you lay this out, like exactly what are 3 tangible outcomes. And you're going to mirror that in your free discovery call. And to be honest, unless you have an opt-in that works, like most of your call to actions as a new coach or a coach who needs clients, you're playing for calls booked. So your call to action should be book a call, book a call, book a call. Drop an emoji if you want me to send you the link to book a call. DM me and let's find a time to talk. Here's exactly what it is: career strategy session or career clarity call, fit by fall session where you're going to get 3 personalized recipes or workouts that are going to help you be fit by fall. Like, I don't know. I'm a big alliteration person, probably because I was an elementary school teacher, but something that people get and understand and they want right now, not something that people want 6 months from now, something that's relevant and they want right now. And if you don't know that, you need to kind of take a few steps back and ask some of your ideal clients. Like, we have done this. We do market research on a yearly basis.
More than that. I would say quarterly at this point. Yeah. Just getting feedback from people.
Does that answer your question though? And we also had this like clipboard thing where it's like, could you ask your ideal clients, like you were holding a clipboard full of check boxes, could you ask your ideal clients, like, what are 3 things, or your pro bono clients or people you have worked with or people you'd like to work with, like, what are 3 things that changed in your life by working with me, or 3 things that you would need to change in your life by working with me? Like, is it you have a new job? Is it that you are in a new home? Is it that you have a new partner? Is it that you're skinnier or fitter or have more energy? Like, you have to know at least 3 tangible things that people pay for. Now they're
Mm-hmm.
paying for them now. You know how I was paying for hating my job?
Wow.
At the bar, my bar tab was what I was paying for at first before I found coaching. Do you get what I'm saying though? I was escaping my life
Ooh.
by going out with my friends and drinking too much. That was how I was paying for that, to deal with that. People are already
Ooh.
paying to deal with it. You want them to pay you, so you have to make it a solution. You have to show them the solution.
So it's so interesting here because I think what you just highlighted is like a symptom of the issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if people are using that clipboard method, if we were to look at it from like a different verbiage, right? What are the symptoms of the issue that you are solving with your clients when you work with them?
Exactly.
That would be the
You
way.
said that perfectly with the ADHD, which is funny because it is like a diagnosis, so of course it has symptoms, but that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Like, how is this problem showing up in their life in a way that's actually costing them money, time, but mostly time and money?
Yeah. And I think like this also like goes into the conversation of like why coaches are so important, because no, we are not therapists, no, we are not counselors, but we are like helpers. We do help people when it comes to goals that they want to achieve and move and how they can move forward in their lives. And I think when we're actually taking the time to break these things down and to pay attention and highlight how we can decide like, yo, you might want to look into coaching, or like, hey, you probably should get some therapy, or whatever it may be. We can highlight those things. You are living that homeschool mom life right now.
No, there's no kids here. It's a puppy chewing something.
Oh, that's even better. I mean, for y'all who are looking and thinking about going into coaching, when you're taking the time to actually do the research around what your clients need, looking at those quote unquote symptoms, looking at those areas of life and being able to communicate those to your people, like even in a conversation when you're out in those target areas where you know your audience is at, whether it be the bar or the gym or parks or the yoga studio, whatever it may be, like these are all things that people are trying to find solutions to, and therefore because they can't get it, or they don't know that they could get it through coaching, they're taking it out in other places, and it's affecting their pocketbooks, it's affecting their livelihood, it's affecting their health, it's affecting their well-being. It's affecting all these things, and you have a superpower in being able to identify that, write it down, communicate it, and then put it out in the world for those folks to realize, oh, actually, you know what? I think I might want to hire you.
Yeah. You are basically saying that, like, I am your, I don't know the better, like, I just thinking shepherd for whatever reason. Like, you're shepherding them into these new habits. I don't know how else to say it. Like, you're guiding them, you're co-creating all of these words, but like, you are their partner, not in just feeling things out, but in taking new actions that create new results in their lives, right? So that they get to this outcome. Like, there may be emotional work involved, and like most people want to feel good. People do pay to feel good, but they are not paying someone they don't know upwards of $3,000 to feel good.
No.
So you have to bridge that like emotional work to a real world outcome.
Mm-hmm. Tangible items. I also will say too, because I know there will be folks who are coaches but do more product-based work as well. If you are trying to build a product to also like supplement these issues that folks may be going through, or help solve someone's problem that they need a solution for, apply the same method to this. Like, I know we don't necessarily use like workbooks or journal, etc. But like for the obstacle or the objection, people have, okay, well, I can't afford coaching. Great. bundle your program down into a workbook that can do these same steps via workbook guide, and you can make sales that way as well. Like,
yeah, of course, you can definitely downsell them, but I have to say, just in years of doing this, if you really nail the problem, you're not going to have an issue closing 25 to 50% of every call that's booked. If you really nail the problem and you make it compelling enough and relatable enough so that people understand that, like, how this problem is affecting them, how they're solving it for now, and how your way is going to be better. Your partnership is going to be better. And these are the people that walk away like singing the praises of coaching too. That's what you want. So I don't want to go into a whole nother thing, but you also have to know that your coaching gets results. And if it's not, you need to make sure that you go through training or certification or get credentialed. Yes, as a plug for our school, but like, one of the reasons that people don't actually feel proud enough or confident enough to talk about what we're suggesting that you talk about, that you are the person that's going to help them solve these problems, is because there's part of you that's like, shoot, I don't know. Why don't you actually know? Like, you have to coach people and you have to be mentored in this coaching skills, and you have to get proof that what you are leading them through actually works. And if you haven't done that, go back to step one, which is to get training. Again, you can go to innerglowcircle.com/become a coach to get a free training, but you have to be confident in your methodology in order for you to sell it and in order for you to talk about it.
Absolutely. That confidence is key. It's a game changer.
It's palpable. Like, I can always tell when someone feels good about their offer and when they don't. And I can always tell when an offer is going to sell and when it doesn't.
Same.
I hate that. I hate to be the person that's going to be like, nobody gets it. But somebody's got to tell you that. So here's an invitation. I know we're live, but I think we'll post this. This goes up anyway. If you have an offer and you can't figure out why people aren't buying it, give us a little synopsis. Give us a little bit of an outline of what you're trying to sell in the comments, and V and I will go tag team it and try to give you a little bit more insight into how you may be able to rephrase it or remarket it in a way that makes sense to people and makes sense to people who are willing to pay for the problem to be solved. Yeah,
and we will tackle those in the comment section. Just leave it down below. Throughout the week, we'll go and review this. We are trying to go live a few times a month and actually give y'all tangible action steps you can take to not just go and be a better coach, but to get hired. That is the goal here, is to get y'all hired. So please, in the comment section, drop down that quick synopsis around your offer. We can give you some like actual feedback around if we think it's a sellable offer and what you need to change.
Yeah, and we'll be launching the first offer probably by the next time we go live. So that should be fun.
There's lots of free resources coming, y'all. Liv and I are going crazy behind the scenes.
Well, thank you for joining me.
Anytime. I will be here until, I don't know, the world ends.
Okay.
Well, I go before it.
All right, go make some money, go change some lives. And in order to make some money, you're going to have to figure out how to change lives. So do it in that order, and we will talk to you next time. Bye. All right.